This is an interview with Mr. Walter L. Alexander for the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute's Oral History Project. I'm Dr. Horace Huntley, I'm presently at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. Today is February 6th, 1998.
Well, you can do it much better when you're talking to someone.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay, Mr. Alexander, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come and be with us today.
Okay.
I want to just start by asking you general questions about your family. What, were you born in Birmingham?
She was born right here in Birmingham.
Right in Birmingham.
I was born in a little place in Jefferson County called Songo.
Songo.
Yeah, Songo, the mining town.
Yeah.
My father, he was a miner. My grandfather, he was a miner. Contractor in Songo.
Oh, okay.
We was raised up, just a mining family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was fortunate enough to buy a home a little bit. We were neighborhood down from where I was born. And so I've been out there ever since 1938.
Oh, okay. Were your parents from Birmingham?
My father, but his father was out of Meridian, Mississippi.
Meridian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my father, he was born right in the top of the city,
Oh, okay.
over and went on.
Right.
My mother, she was from Lowndes County,
Oh,
a little place called Calhoun,
right.
Lowndes County.
Yeah. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Where did you fit in that?
Well, I'm the 6th, I'm next to the last.
Oh, okay. The knee baby.
Yeah, maybe that's the word for it.
All right. You grew up in that Oxmoor area?
In Oxmoor area, I went to school out there.
Yeah.
And everything.
How much education did your parents have?
Well, my mother, she went to the 12th grade.
Mhm.
She went to St. Mark to Birmingham. St. Mark Project, Birmingham. My father, he tell me that he finished 8th grade.
Yeah. Where did they go to school?
My father, he went to East School. Because Powell East School.
Powell School, yeah.
One of the times, but at that time, it was back in the 1900s, but he was telling me that some of the teachers that taught him.
Yeah.
Miss Trinity was his teacher. And Miss Trinity was also my teacher from 1 to 3. But I think at that time she was in Powell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was Powell.
That was before my time.
Yeah, my mother went to Powell too.
Oh, okay. Well, that was it then, because the people over in that area, at least if I'm not mistaken, I think Shelway went to Powell too.
Yeah.
Then from there to Rosedale, and then from there to Alabama State.
Did your mother go to your Powell?
No, she went to St. Mark. St. Mark, practice over here, I believe it's off Alpharetta.
Oh, okay. Okay. Private school.
Right.
It wasn't public school at the time. Yeah. Okay. Just tell me a bit about what do you remember about growing up in Oxmoor?
Well, growing up in Oxmoor, we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of fruit and stuff out there. We used to volunteer and grow, like apples, blackberries, plums, pears, a lot of hickories and stuff.
Just growing the wild.
Just growing wild. We was 10 of it at that time.
Yeah.
It's all kind of fruit that you name, except oranges and lemons, stuff like that. All the rest of the fruit we had.
Yeah.
And it was plentiful. That everyone, each and every family probably had their own little farm. And that's where, every family had to make its own little farm. And that's the way things worked.
Yeah.
And people would, help each other.
Right. Yeah. You didn't have big supermarkets, right?
No, you could go off and you could leave your home open and everything. People would tell you, who came in your yard. If your mother told you this, hey, so look, say, don't leave out of this yard. Hey, you did that. And that was the And that's the way things was then. You know, if you left at that yard, then you know what you had coming.
Mm.
So, and that's the way people were reared then.
There was a certain amount of discipline there.
It was real discipline. That's right. And you obeyed. If you didn't obey, then you knew what you had coming.
Yeah. You say your father and your grandfather were
They
miners?
Old miners.
Were they old miners?
Old miners, right.
Do you know if either of them were in the union, the mine mill and smelter workers union?
He was there. I remember this. I believe 7. When he was there when they started the union, the mine mill. He went to the mine mill. Then they changed over to the steel workers.
Steel workers, right.
I remember that. Because they had a little place down in Brown, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
See our old hall out there.
Right. Yeah. Was he active? Was he real active in the union?
Sure, he was. He was real active.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a mine mill. That's right.
Yeah. Do you know if he left any materials about what mine mill, any papers, anything?
Well, I know, what he taught me. I didn't know his badge number 647.
64/7.
Right. His badge number. And I remember how we used to stack the old cup out of that. We used to well in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, you have to ton of water, regulate the water, everything, let it drop too far in the cup out.
Right.
Then you could stack the old flint on the side. And then the light will just shine off there.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to keep the face of that light clean, because I believe it was made out of some kind of brass or something. It would have keep that reflection that real shine.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that would throw off that light.
Yeah.
And then you could shoot a blade out about so far. And that's how much light you got.
Did he ever tell you? Do you ever remember any incidences involved with the miners?
Sure. Well, which one you speaking about? You speaking about the accident that you had in the mine?
Yeah, either both. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I remember of quite a few people that didn't survive. Like a fellow by the name of Rick. He got a rock fell on him. He was number 14. And, I can't recall. Let me see. I'm trying to think. It's the bottom. Fell that in the sun though. I'm trying to think of it. But I remember about 3 or 4 people really that I knew quite well that had lost their lives.
Your dad was he involved when they first started to organize? Do you know?
Coming to union?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was.
He was one of the first at that time.
Yeah.
Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I were in the 40s.
Yeah, it was actually the 30s.
Right.
33, 34, 35.
Right.
Was he an official? Did he have an office,
No, he wasn't. He didn't have an office in the,
He was real active.
Right. He was active. He went to all the meetings that they had and everything.
Right.
Because, at that time, people would participate in what was going on.
What was his name?
His name is James.
James.
Called James.
Okay. James Alexander. Okay. Yeah, I've been interested in mine mill for a long time, but I have records and stuff, so I'm keeping pretty close tabs to how that organization went about. Yeah, and that's very interesting. You remember your first grade class when you first started school?
When I first started school,
Where did you go?
I went to Oxford.
Oxford.
I never will forget. I started school at 5 years old. I had to at 6 because my birthday came in September. And the ladies' store went down. Ms. Hager. And we went up there with a little fun. It wasn't no fun about the store, but now we found a whole lot of pennies and stuff. The pennies at that time, you could spend it. You go get kits. Or you get 2 cookies for a penny, stuff like that. And we just found lots of pennies and stuff. We would take them and spend them. We thought they were fun.
Yeah. Well, did your mother work outside the home?
Not in the beginning. My mother, she was a housewife at the time. When we got old enough, she got tired of sitting around how we got in high school. So she decided to work. She was very active. She was she worked with Christian unions and stuff like that. Then after that, she started doing domestic work.
Okay. Did she bring clothes in? Did she go out to people's homes?
Well, she went to the home. She went to the house.
Right. Now, how long did you go to Oxmoor Elementary School?
Well, see, at that time they had from 1 through 9.
Mm.
Then they dropped from 1 through 8 because I finished out there in 1953.
Mm.
That's the year that I finished, and then I went to Rosedale.
No, you went to Rosedale High School.
High school.
Okay. Sons of Cons.
Matter of fact, mighty sons of God.
Yeah.
William Cole
Yeah.
put you that B.M. Montgomery was the principal,
Mm.
and then Jackson, he was the 12th grade class.
Yeah. Well, now you were going from Oxmoor, which is sort of a rural community, over to Rosedale, which is in the city. How was that? How was?
We was transported by bus.
Mm-hmm.
See, the bus would come to Oxmoor School and pick you up. And then we'll leave Oxmoor, we'll go to Mason City, and then we'll go back to Brown Hill, and then we'll proceed up the Green Spring Highway back over Homewood.
Mm-hmm.
Then we even go on top of the mountain, up on Shade Mountain, we travel Shade Crest, and we have some people up there with Ruffin and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked them up, and the Matthews and the Cooks, and another set of Smith. You know, there's a lot of people over there. That's where that church, Mount Hill, come from. The one over there in Garden House.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that church came off of Shade Mountain. Came down off of that and
Mm-hmm.
over in Brook Park.
Right. Yeah. Well, how was the transition, say, from Oxmoor to Rosedale? Because there were a lot more students at Rosedale, I assume.
Sure, it was we had about, the bus would be half full when it left Oxmoor.
Mm-hmm.
And see, then when we get to Bay City, we would pick up the rest of the bus because they would, anyone that from the 9th to the 10th grade, 9th to the 12th grade, they had to go to Rosedale, or either the one that could afford it would go to Immaculata, or either other.
Well, did you have opportunity to go to Winona?
Well, we, at that time, see, the people that lived in Songo, it was closer for them, but see, by me staying in the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
in the valley, it would be much easier for me to catch the bus. Because the bus was much closer, more convenient.
But some of your friends probably went to Winona.
Sure, like the Harrison and the Lawson and the Whites, they went to,
What do you remember most about Rosedale?
Well, I remember when Shirley stood. Shirley Playboy, he was there.
He was down there?
Yeah, his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
David
Did you know his
Shirley.
brother?
Sure. Me and Sammy and David, they was in the class, my brother. Sammy was in the class with me.
Mm-hmm.
And Shirley was there. He was in the class with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
When he first started out in his radio.
Mm-hmm. Did you follow his career?
Oh, sure. He had a doubt real, but he left Birmingham one time, but he came back, and so I've been with him a long time.
Yeah.
I know Shirley, I've been with him long.
Yeah. Did you participate in any extracurricular activities at school?
Well, I blew along. I was in the band.
Mm-hmm. What was your instrument?
The trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
I blew a trumpet for 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't until they, extreme. I didn't take up the band. I wanted to be a lawyer, either doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got there with the technician.
Yeah. What did you do after high school?
After high school, I went in service. Their service, that was, that was one of the things that I did. I went to service.
Why did you happen not to go into the mine?
Well, my brother started that. See, my father, he cut hair. He was a barber. He was all around guy. He fixed watches. He could just fix everything. He was a smart guy. He taught me, he didn't teach me, I used to watch him cut hair, so I learned how to barber. And learn how to do different laws.
So did you ever have a desire to work in the mine?
No, I didn't like mine because I was scared of the rock fall. That was what I was scared of, going in there and not coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So My father used to drill me that first thing he used to drive off. Well, he used to tell me to joy loader. Yeah. Stuff like that. He used to tell me about this stuff. So he sit down there and talk to him.
Yeah. Who did you say was a contractor?
My grandfather, he's a contractor at Summer.
Oh, okay. So did he work? Did your daddy work with him?
That's how he started out. My father started out in the mine when he was 12 years old. So he had been in the mine a long time. But he had went down in the mine when he was 8.
And then your brothers working in the mine?
No. That's what he did rub off.
Yeah.
So my oldest brother, he was a barber. So he retired from the barber. And that's what because he had studied Birmingham when he was 13 years old. He was one of the youngest guys in Birmingham to get a license.
What about when you left Rosedale, joined the service? Where did you go?
Well, I went to Germany.
Where did you basic training?
I did basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And I went to Saginaw, Texas, where I went to med school. On the medical service with the MTC medical training course. Then I left there, I went to Georgia. And I left Georgia, Fort Benning, Georgia, I was down at my hospital. When I left there, I went to Germany, Hamburg, Germany. And that's where I worked at Night General Hospital.
In the 1950s, Birmingham was a pretty tough place.
It was tough. It was even, it was tough. I mean, it was funny to me because I was a fighter, and that's why I went in service. I went in service to fight because I could fight this segregation stuff off. Thought you could be a man, but you get in there and you got so many guidelines and so many ways to hold you back.
What kind of stuff? How was life for you in segregated Birmingham?
Well, life for me in Birmingham, it was. I guess it was just, it was normal. It's like because you had colored balls and you had white balls. And at that time, the police, they just took over. Because by now, looking at it, it was a long time. That's where it was. That's what I think of segregation when I think of it. Because it was a police state. Because the police would come in your neighborhood and just do anything. They could come in there and they could take up money. If you be dancing, they could bring you legal whiskey in there and sell it. There's a whole lot they could do.
Did you ever witness any of that?
Sure. Witness a lot of it. You could be in that dancing in certain places, and the police could. The sheriff at that time was the county sheriff. They could come in and have a little jar, and you just donate to the cause, to a quarter, or whatever change you have in it, and then you just continue doing what you're doing.
What if
drinking, dancing, doing anything?
What if you decided not to contribute?
Well, if you didn't have it, I mean, you didn't have it.
Did you ever witness any brutality?
Sure. There was a whole lot of brutality. At least I was involved some myself. But,
tell me about a couple of incidents.
Well, once I was in an accident. I wasn't married at the time. And, the police were telling me how fast I was running in my car. And I had a convertible Chevrolet. And right out on Martin King Drive, which is Mile Valley Road. And I had an accident. And the police hit me right here with a flashlight and bust this over.
Why did he hit you? Why did he hit you?
When I told him I wasn't running, he said I was running about 100 miles an hour. I told him no. I said the car was running fast. I was probably running 50, 60 miles an hour. He told me I was lying. The nigga said you lied. He told me that was it.
So he hit you with the flashlight?
Yeah. Officer hit me with the flashlight.
Did he arrest you?
Sure, and went to jail. After he took me to the hospital, they had to take me to jail after that.
Did anything ever come of that? Did you have to go to court?
Well, long procedures. We came out, I was found not guilty at that time.
Did you ever get an apology from the police officer?
Apology, no. Another incident, I had a cap pistol. I spent time in jail for that. Judge asked me, they will forget it. Told me that I wasn't guilty of state, I'm telling you this, not guilty of concealed weapon. Then he changed it in court and told us the way you guilty with the state fired on me. And so they fired me again. So that was for a black pistol.
Well, what was the circumstances? Why did you have a pistol?
But we was
Where
riding,
were you?
yeah, we was riding around here with some more white guys. You said white guys. And we was over here in South Town. And we just left the country club.
You were riding around with white guys?
Yeah, and that's the reason why
Was
they
this
stopped us. And I was in 1960, before this time.
when they? Did you work with them or?
No,
how
we
did you-
just out. They
How
came
did
over
you-
to the country club and
What country club?
Sandwich.
The white guys came to San Ridge?
Right.
Okay. And the San Ridge is a black country club.
Sure. So they came over there and we got together and they were just riding us around through town. Me, myself, another guy by the name of Charles Floyd.
Did you know them?
Sure, now Charles did, the guy that went over my home before. Because at the time, the fellow went down here on Silver Road for all states. You know, long story short, this did happen. But I spent some time in jail for that.
Now, let me understand this. They came on the San Ridge and you guys were just having
Just
a time,
riding
and you
around.
decided to go someplace with them, run around, and then what happened? How did it?
The police stopped us.
They were driving, right?
They were
stopped
driving.
that car. Okay, what
So
the
what
police?
y'all doing with these niggas in the car? That's just the way it was.
Mhm.
And they took us over here, brought us down to the 18th, 19th Street,
City Hall.
City Hall, going down to City Hall, we stayed in the basement there for a while. And then
The four of you?
all
Mhm.
of us went to jail.
Mhm.
Charles, myself, and two white guys, all went to jail.
Were y'all right in the same?
In the same week.
Mhm.
If you want to be with these niggas, sleep with them. They put us all in jail together.
So what did they arrest you for?
Well, they couldn't arrest us for drinking or anything because at that time I didn't drink. And so the only thing they could arrest us for was just having that cap on.
So you had a cap
Yeah.
on you.
Now we were shooting going down. I'm not gonna lie about that. We were shooting going just the typical young people would do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
About 20 or something. About 20. I can't exactly remember, the time. Yeah. But it was in that era, same era.
Mhm. When did you get involved with the movement?
The movement, I always have been involved with the movement because it was one thing that I stressed because my father always taught us, that no one is no greater than you. And that's the way that I was raised.
Mhm. Did you attend any of the
Sure, I
mass
went,
meetings?
sure, I went to, a lot of them.
How would you, so somebody that never went to a mass meeting, how would you explain to that person what it was like?
Well, see, each day you went to a meeting, thing would automatically be different. You may go this day and you may change up the route on the march, but you will never know anything before you get to that meeting because the proceeding that you took at that day, that's what you took.
Mhm.
You didn't know ahead. You just know where to be.
Yeah. How would you describe that meeting?
Well, the meeting to me, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to me because it was silly to me how people would want to stop you from going someplace, and you just going just to be going. Just going. You going just to be going, and people out there trying to stop you from doing what you want. and you're not hurting anyone, because you're not involved, they tell you, look, take all the weapons and anything out of your pocket, don't have anything, because the police, you might have a chance of going to jail. And see, this is the way you will breathe. And that's what I couldn't understand. People standing all on the street out there watching. And then the police, they got all kind of police out there going downtown. And they had these conservation guys, coming from the state. The state even something about the forest ranger. Forest ranger. They got it roped off all downtown. And then,
How did you know they were forest rangers?
you see it on the uniform.
Uniforms.
That's right. Still got the uniform, the little ranger badge and everything. See that?
And they were being used as policemen.
Right there.
Fred Shuttleworth was from your.
He was in, I've been doing showway for all my life. So since I was, because he and my sister, he may be a few years old, my elder sister. It was a long girl because they both had daughters at that time about the same age. My sister's niece and Fred's daughter, Patricia. And my niece Patricia, they was about the same age.
Was he instrumental at all in you getting involved in the formal portion of the movement?
Well, we would see him, at times. See, I mean, he was busy doing in his church over across town with Cottersville.
Right.
And we saw him rally. But see, we could get the message. And anytime they had a meeting, anything like that, you would know when to get out there because they would bring over the radio sometimes and tell you what to meet.
Right.
Anything you could get to me. Thing was audio out. You could get to me.
When did you get out of the service?
58.
58. By then, the Alabama Christian movement for human rights had been organized.
Sure.
And they were organized in 56.
56, right.
Right. And by 58, they were demonstrating on buses.
Right.
Buses. Did you ever participate in any of those demonstrations?
Not
sit-ins.
The city just at the county, like down here at Woolworth and some of that. But see, when we got out, we was mostly just marching, It wasn't here. See, Reverend Shelley, when Dr. King, when they was in Montgomery.
So the bus block out.
Right, on the bus block. See, it wasn't as active in Birmingham as it was in Montgomery. Because Montgomery, they broke the ice for this place. And then that's when it became active. Reverend Shelley and some Treaty Nonviolent and SCLC, that's when they got together. Because we had Reverend Bevel, I believe it was Wayne Bevel, Almanac, and all of them, they became a part. And then they just meet down here at the Gaston Motel. Right. Then from there over to the 16th Street Baptist Church.
Yeah. Well, when you were getting involved with the demonstration, did you have any training? Were you trained at all what to do and what not to do?
Sure, they would already teach you what to do. But see, I was fortunate enough not to go to jail. It wasn't that I didn't want to. I wanted to go to jail, but look like when they get down to us in line to put you in the wagon, that's all they would take, because there'd always be more people there that they need to arrest.
Yeah. Well, explain to me, do you remember your first demonstration?
Sure, the first one was, we was right here on 7th, when they started, it wasn't the first one, but I remember this one real good. It was right here, we was down to Parkview. That's where it was sick and dogs on people. Right there on Fifth Avenue, and the Alexander Motel. On one
17th
side.
Street.
Yeah, 17th Street and Fifth Avenue. That's Fifth Avenue, 17th Street right there. And we was all, they got together. And so my brother was working at the barber shop, and 20th Century Barber Shop. And had a crowd of people. I'm talking about it was a large gathering. And the police, they come down there, the fire trucks and everything, and pull out the hose. And then people, they didn't start their shoot, the hose. And that was the funny thing about it, but it was some tension that got up there. But see, what I can tell you is true because I know, and I was there and I was in it. When tension build up, you got peace. Believe.
Intention.
When tension build up, when the people got tired and fed up and they saw that you wasn't jiving, then they got peace. Because some of the police were just as scared as 1, 2, 3 that's going to drive, but people wasn't mess with them. You know what I'm saying? They kept their respect for the law.
You said when the tension build up,
Yeah, when tension build up,
down,
they back down. Believe me.
And then what happened to people? Then they were attempting to do what?
Well, that's when you could feel it break. It's when the change comes, you can feel it. Because people said it's all before they do, it's all they gonna take. But we got to go for what you can do.
Yeah. I know you had told Mrs. Hendricks that you would march from the church.
Yeah, from right across the park, right over here. 16, no, it was here. 16th Street Church, right across the park. And some of us would go up the right straight up the street right there. And all get together. See, but when they had when they had cut off downtown, this is the funny part about it. See, they expect us to go down 5th Avenue or even 4th Avenue. See, but some of us went down to 3rd Avenue and over to 2nd Avenue. They got across the line. See, and went downtown. And that's the way you got downtown.
And what did you do when you got downtown?
Well, you just go in there and just make them like a fool of yourself. Because we had accomplished what we had wanted to do.
Were you going down to sit in the?
Just go down there and just, hey, look at, when you go down there and sit, there wasn't nobody doing anything anyway. Because it's so many people, what can they do? And that's the way it was. It was a lot of fun to me. Just see people back down.
So your object was to simply get downtown.
To get downtown. That was the object.
And once you're down there, then what happened? Anything?
It was all over because the police can't be everywhere. He can't be here and then jump from there over here and guard these amount of people. Right. So it's just frustrating.
Were there many people from your neighborhood that were involved?
Mostly everyone in all there, it was fun. See, mostly everyone in Mason City, Oxmoor, all around Winona. Hey, most everyone would leave school on those days and just be downtown. Yeah, that's out of all neighborhoods. All of them.
You left school from
Well, see, at that time, I was.
You were out of school?
Yeah, I was out of school then. See, I was waiting over at the bowling alley. See, I would get off work in the morning time, and that's my thing. Just come on downtown then. I hang around the barber shop until they get downtown. See, they get downtown about 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day. And that's when they filed Birmingham.
Yeah. So there were people downtown who had maybe worked at night or something.
Exactly, but most of the school children. That's what it was. Most of the school kids, they'll leave school down about, and they'll be down there. See, they'll be down there. The school kids the one that really that did it. And those were the one mainly the one. Yeah, now you have some people that are my age and older. Some older people that got too that much together.
You remember a night that the motel was bombed?
Remember the night the motel was bombed? Because but the night the motel was bombed, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. They had everybody was on curfew. You had to be off the street at 7 o'clock. If they caught you around anywhere in the Birmingham area, or maybe in the county area, they would take you to jail. And that night, the motel was bombed. It was around that night. They turned over 5 trucks, broken liquor store, broken liquor store down the 4th Avenue. This took and did everything. 5 trucks, ton over 5 trucks and everything.
Were you there that night?
Well, part of it came in a little bit late.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to get down there, you know what I'm talking about. You heard something happen, you had to get there.
Mm-hmm. And after you got there, what?
There was all over people, people, everybody out there, I mean, you know, it was a thing there. It was a sight.
They also bombed Dr. King's brother's house.
That's right, our
Same
own
night.
incident,
Right.
Apple. And what Laurie Show bombed his house, you know that?
Right. Do you remember when the church was bombed? 16th Street?
16, I remember that was on Sunday morning. That's what it seemed like to me. I remember that they said, you know, they just bombed that church, 16th Street.
What do you remember about that day? Did you come down?
No, I didn't. No. I came down the next day. The next day. Yeah, I didn't come down that day. No. I came down the next day. I didn't come down that day. Then we came out and saw the site. But they had all that roped off.
Are there any other incidents that you may have had that you think would be interesting for people to know about?
Along the buses, I remember, you know, the way what you have to do when you ride the bus. Because we had to walk around the ways over the 2 better catch bus from the school. From Rosedale School, we kept 39 and come downtown. And they had the signs that the color and white. See? And that's what it was color. And when the bus was empty, if you didn't have any whites on the bus, then the driver would come back and you could take the sign completely off. No, just take it up and move to the front. And let it still in the front seat.
Yeah. But that was
That's when the bus was empty.
yeah. Did you rode the bus from downtown? How did you get home? What bus?
Well, to go home now, I had to catch number 3 down on 3rd Avenue and ride over here to Jefferson Avenue, or either over here. I'd be number 2. Number 2 would get off right there on Jefferson Avenue, and that 40th Street. Okay,
Where they were at the traffic light and stuff?
no, I catch number 3 and I ride out to Cole. You know what Cole had to turn right there on. I forget this.
Yeah, that's
Right there before you get to the track, go up the way on
Wilson Road.
Right. We get on right there on Wilson Road. Then I would walk on up there by the school, then cut through the end road and down. See, the other way, I would have to go over to Cowan Store. Get off at the Cowan Store on number 2, and then walk on out.
Crossway, so high.
Right, Crossway, so that's right. But I had a couple of sisters over there in Richmond at the time. It would be at night, I was still there. So I would have to worry about something, I just walk home.
Are there any other things that you want to share with us that because I know that you're being as active, living out in that area, and then having to go all the way downtown, that was a commitment in itself.
Well, I wish people would relate to each other now, just like they did then. That's what I would like to express. That's the only thing I like to express. I would people would relate to each other like they did then.
Right.
And I did do it that. And see, at that time, I mean, people they did wrong things, but they wasn't as much destruction as it is now. Kids, and just a generation that's gone. And that's the main thing, you know, that I would like to be just don't kill themselves because the youngsters now are killing themselves. I wish they would stop that.
Well, Mr. Alexander, I want to thank you for taking time out because you've enlightened me. You know, one of the things when you talk about people from out in that area,
Right.
you know, you get that commitment because I mean, you have to get a distance to get to downtown demonstrations at that time.
Right.
So that took a special kind of commitment. to get that. Especially if you're talking about walking from Jefferson Avenue back over to.
We had to do it. Something we do it every day because we're far. Sometimes we walk from Oxmoor cleaned to Rosedale School. But it wasn't every day we just do it, you know, one day that we said, because people was friendly, you know.
Did you know Tall Paul?
Sure, Paul, I know Tall Paul.
Tell me something about Tall Paul.
Well, Tall Paul, he's a nice guy. Back when I used to wear that back when I was back in school. Yeah, he's a real nice fellow, Tall Paul. He and my brother was the same thing. Bill.
At
At
Rosedale?
Rosedale, yeah.
So he was one of the disc jockeys.
Yeah, he wanted this job. Yeah, Tall Paul, he's a nice fellow. Hello, Tall Paul.
Tall Paul, y'all.
Foreign land, he was out there too.
Okay, well, thank you. That's good.